the intimacy and all of that is not in where you think it is. It's like you find these moments. How do you keep it sexy, but also have that emotional connection that you guys just described?
What I want to share, two things in terms of intimacy. Now this, you may not get it, but it'll come later.
Okay.
The first one was Christmas this past year. He has two daughters before me, because he was married before, and they're back east. And this Christmas was the first time we were all together at Christmas. We're together a lot during the year, but we were all together at Christmas. And so I have 4 kids and 6 grandkids. And it was absolutely amazing. We did some of the most wonderful things, and it felt very like Ozzie and Harriet or something or other. And I remember one night we had a long table at this restaurant and we just had the best time. And I looked over at him and it was such an intimate moment because I thought, wow, look at this production of ours. So that was one. Then last week, I made something that he doesn't even like. And so I made it the day before because I knew I had a really busy time the next day, and that was going to be my breakfast. And this was a low-carb scone. And so
sounds amazing.
It's something I love because I happen to love carbs and I'm trying to watch them. So I made this, and I had made some before and he didn't like it. So I made this and I had it.
He's looking away like he's remembering it. Just
yeah. So when I'm ready to have it, I had a break from a session, coaching session, and I go in the kitchen to get my scone and pour some coffee, and it's not there. And I'm thinking, where did I put my scone? I know I put it here.
You didn't.
He had eaten it, and so I said, "You ate my scone, and you don't even like it, my low carb." And he said, you know what? I wasn't even thinking. He said, but this one happened to be especially good. So I said, okay, great. And so I poured the coffee and I came on back, and maybe 10 minutes later, he comes. He ran to Ralph's. And the other thing I love is berries and low carb yogurt. So he runs to Ralph's, gets blackberries, blueberries, and strawberries, puts them in this low-carb yogurt, puts it in a bowl, and brings it to me at the table at my desk where I'm working. And I looked, I went, wow. He said, I felt so bad. I don't know how to make the scones, but I know you like this, and I want to make certain you had a nice breakfast. And that was intimate for me because he got me, he knew, and he knows that I am the berry junkie of the universe. And so I was in 17th sky.
Oh.
My mom would tell me that, you know, my parents would go out for a date and they try to do it once a month usually. Obviously now that I'm older, Derek and I try and do the same thing. And my mom told me that, you know, my parents didn't have a lot of money and whatnot. And so my mom would always say, well, can we afford to go out and get a babysitter and everything? And my dad would say, well, we can't afford not to because our marriage is like the epicenter of our family. And I just am like so thankful that they've always been such an amazing example, at least for my sister and I. And so Derek and I, similar to the other couples we have, we call them state of our unions. And so those are kind of our check-ins. And we make time, we try and have, well, COVID's made it a little hard, but we had to get creative with, we have date nights. We set aside time for intimacy. Like, it's just how you have to do it sometimes when you have kids and everything like that. And every year we at least try to go on like a nice vacation together, just him and I. So, just building off of that intimacy and also the emotion, just really it's about making time for it.
I have heard that there is, let me take that back, that there's an assumption that younger couples don't have the same ability to stay in a marriage. And I will say, my conversation with both of the less than 37 years married couples has really let me know that that's not the case at all.